One of the most common complaints I get from people is, I set up the ritual, I attempted the ritual, and nothing happened. Or I attempted the spell and nothing happened. And I want to talk about that today and how you can actually make your spells not only work, your rituals not only work, but make them powerful. And without further ado, let's jump in. Hey everybody, my name is Corey Reagan, aka Damios. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, that sort of thing. Or find me right here. So if you'll hit the subscribe button so that you see all my videos, and if you would be so kind as to drop something in the comments, even if it's a smiley face, even if it's a fuck you, it's all appreciated. Just to kind of get me stirred. Let's tickle the algorithm a little bit. So we get into ritual, right? We go to set up a ritual. A lot of the time, if you're in this place now, if you are setting up a ritual, if you're attempting rituals, if you're attempting spells, and you're probably just starting out, and you're in this place, or maybe you've been doing it for a little bit, or trying to do it for a little bit, and you're still trying to get instructions from the grimoires, the spell books, YouTube, which is great. I get a lot of inspiration. I still read the spell books, and I use these spells and rituals, and they work beautifully. And you're following the instructions to a T. Only it seems like nothing happens. You're not making contact with the spirits, or maybe you're not getting big results with your spell, or maybe you go into the spell and you're expecting something to happen during the time of the spell. It just seems like you're playing around with ingredients and a candle, that sort of thing. So what can we do? How can we actually add power to our magic? How can we actually make contact with these spirits in a way that we can hear them, in a way that we can see them, touch them, experience them, and really know what's going on? You know, the whole point of evocation, the whole point of conjuring a spirit is to be able to experience that spirit and not just assume, oh, I guess everything worked out. And kind of the same thing when we go to cast a spell. And you've heard me talk about it before. One of the number one things people are leaving out is the trance, that theta brainwave state. And what this does is it quiets your mind. If your mind is scattered all over the place, you're pouring energy out in every direction. You're not putting energy into the ritual. You're not putting energy into the spell. And if you've been scatterbrained all day, if you've been scrolling constantly, you've got an energy leak. And we're all guilty of this. I have a bad habit. I will get on my phone and scroll away. And guess what? I lead to burnout. Rituals become less powerful. I start losing desire to even touch magic. It happens to the best of us. So one of the things that I highly recommend you start doing. First, if you're going light, I'm not telling you to meditate for 30 minutes to an hour a day. What I am telling you to do is every time you catch yourself, every time you think about it, if you have to set reminders in your phone, take a few minutes and just breathe consciously. Bring yourself back to the moment. Let's do that right now. Breathe in, 4 seconds, and exhale, 6 seconds. You're probably already feeling changes in your body. You're feeling changes in your mind, your thoughts. You're feeling more collected. You're feeling more grounded, more centered. And you're feeling the room sort of shift a little bit. Do you feel that? Good. That means it's working. This is the first step, our breath work. Our breath, it's the breath of life. Our life, we're able to live because we breathe. We take in energy, we expel energy. We take in energy, we expel energy, right? A different kind of energy. So when you're consciously bringing in energy, and you're constantly focusing back in on that breathing, you're bringing yourself right here, right now, into the present moment. Now, why is this important? One, it brings all our energy back to us. It brings our energy gathered together. And so when we go to do a ritual, well, first of all, let me talk about this. When we go to do a spell, when we go to perform a spell, we want to create something. We want to manifest something because of that spell, a desire. When you've got all your energy gathered, you've been breathing, you're in the moment, you're right here, right now. Time and space have been reduced down to a single point, which is right here, right now. Single point, time, space, location. The entire universe comes to right where you're at right now. The rest of the world should fade away, cease to exist, because all of creation is right here in the room. And hopefully the immediate circle or the table or wherever you're at in the forest, that little spot in the forest, it should all be reduced down to that. That's why we want to get in the moment. We want to breathe. These are command breaths. We're switching our brainwave state from beta brainwave, right? That first veil, right? The task-oriented veil that is scattering our mind all over the place, okay? It's scattering our mind everywhere. And what we're doing is we're transferring over into the second veil, the alpha brainwave state. We're a little more relaxed. We're calmer. We have everything collected. Our thoughts are collected. And in fact, there's a silence that washes over us. Imagine a pond of water, right? If we take or imagine a bowl of water. That might be easier to picture right now. Imagine a bowl of water. And you've been stirring it. You've been splashing around in it. That's your thoughts. That's your thoughts all over the place. That's you worried about the bills that's got to be paid. That's you worrying about commenting on TikTok or Instagram or what somebody said to you. That's you thinking about this, that, and the other. Right? It's very invasive. People, they struggle with controlling their thoughts. They struggle with quieting their thoughts to a hush. When we breathe, when we use command breaths and we relax the body, all of a sudden something miraculous happens. That bowl of water, those ripples that were in the bowl, they calm, they silence. Our mind silences. And what happens? If you look into the bowl, if you look into the vessel of water, now a clear crystal image appears, a reflection. Right? This is our mind's ability to peer into the unseen world, to hear into the unseen world. Our astral senses can now feel into the unseen world. Do you understand? So when we quiet everything down, now all of a sudden, the subtle energies can be felt. The quiet, unheard voices can be heard. The things that are unseen can be perceived. And there's no noise, there's no distraction. We go from a radio channel, flipping through the radio, we're on one station now. We can hear the messages coming in loud and clear. There's a second half to this. We have to be able to develop our psychic faculties. Right? And people might ask, well, I can't visualize. I see nothing. Nothing, I can't picture a red balloon. If someone were to tell me to picture a red balloon, that's fine. If you have aphantasia, that's fine. You have more than one astral sense, my friend. Can you hear? Can you perceive? Can you feel different energies? Usually, this is with physical senses also. If you're blind, your other senses become enhanced. So if you suffer from aphantasia, or you struggle to visualize, and maybe you don't have a permanent aphantasia, maybe it's just a muscle that needs to be strengthened. Maybe all of this needs to be strengthened where it's been atrophied, okay? So here's what you do. For visual, let's run through an exercise really quick. I want you to close your eyes. If you're in a dark room, even better. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine just nothingness. Just imagine nothingness. And if you've quieted your thoughts, this should come easily. If you've got a lot of stuff racing through your mind right now, come back to your breathing. Come back to your command breaths. Right? I can close my eyes and it's just nothingness. Imagine this as a canvas that can be painted upon. Imagine this as a blank CD, or if you're younger than CDs, imagine this as software in which the music can be recorded on, silence in which the music can be recorded on, played upon. So right now you should hear nothing, you should see nothing, you should feel nothing, you should be thinking nothing. It's nothingness. The world is without form and void. It is nothing. Now, this is the foundation of creation. Okay? And keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Continue to breathe. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Don't pay too much attention to counting. Now, if you can visualize, I want you to bring into this dark void, into this dark room, that's all around you, where you're sitting right now. Imagine it's just dark nothingness other than you and the chair you're sitting in. I want you to imagine a clock, a big grandfather clock, suspended right in front of you. Brown wooden grain, a big clock face on it, big hands ticking around it, a pendulum swinging back and forth. This might be a little bit difficult at first. If you can't get it, try and just imagine it motionless. Now try to hear the sound of the clock, the ticking and the pendulum swinging back and forth. Tick, tock, tick, tock. If you can't visualize it all, just try and hear it. Try and hear the sound of a clock right now. Now reach out and see if you can touch the clock. Reach out and see if you can touch the clock in your imagination. Remember what a piece of wood feels like. Remember if you remember being a child, you go to your grandparents' house, they have a big grandfather clock and you can't help but touch it. Feel the cool, hard touch of the wood. Maybe the glass face of the clock. And the more you work at this sort of thing, the more intense and more powerful it can become. So go ahead and open your eyes. Just practice little simple exercises like this. Practice experiencing nothingness, silence. Even if you're walking around, meditation can be activated while you're moving around. You just bring yourself back to your command breaths. Silence the mind. Be in the present moment. Be in the present moment. You bring yourself back to this place of stillness. You can almost experience nothingness. You can experience the beautiful present moment right now. Whether you're with your loved ones, whether you're preparing for a spell, completely in the moment. So, when we exercise our psychic faculties, first we have to empty what's already there. Our logical mind, that's what's telling us to do this, that, and other, right? The thinker. When we empty that, it allows for the spirit mind to grow. So we allow that spirit mind to grow and we experience it. We experience the silence. We experience the senses, right? We can experience the senses, and the more we experience those senses and rely on them, you can eventually get to a point where you can visualize things. You can see things with your eyes open. You can see things in motion. You can create an entire atmosphere, an entire world around you. Okay, when I go into ritual, the entire room ultimately ceases to exist other than where I'm at. And then this sort of overlay of another world, it's replaced by another world around me. Okay? Maybe it's a black abyss. Maybe it's some alien looking world. It just depends. It all depends. And ultimately, what's right there in front of me? The thing that I'm working on. Maybe it's the candle. Maybe it's the sigil in front of me. It's the only thing in the world, in the universe, that exists other than myself. Or if I'm evoking a spirit, it's just me and the spirit. It's just me and the spirit. And maybe I'm suspended in that blackness. It's just me and the spirit there together. Maybe my eyes are closed. Maybe my eyes are open. Or I'm perceiving this in this world that I've created out of my temple. This astral world that's existing alongside me. The spirit's moving around. I can perceive it walking behind me. I can see it. I can perceive it walking up to me, touching me. Because we bring forth the imagination, the spirit mind, we strengthen it. The more strength, the more we exercise that muscle, the stronger it gets and the easier it gets. So if you can practice being in the present moment, if you can practice visualization techniques, just using your imagination. Remember being a kid and you would imagine that seeing like a little character running alongside the car, jumping over the stop signs, climbing the trees and jumping over buildings. You were engaged in the spirit mind. If you can imagine it, it's real. It's not your imagination. It's your imagination, but it doesn't mean that it's false. It's not there. It doesn't mean that you're just making something up. What you're doing is creating something. You're creating a real thought form. You're creating a real universe. You're creating a spirit. You're creating energies, or you're channeling energies. You're channeling spirits, and you're perceiving them through the mind. So if you can do this, if you can, listen close, if you can do this a little bit a day, a daily ritual. A ritual can just be you stopping and breathing. But if you can rewire your nervous system to trigger whenever you go into command breaths, and it says, okay, command breaths mean we need to relax. Let's relax quickly. And then it's, okay, command breaths mean that we need to make room. We need to start creation mode, all right? We need to bring back the world being form and void, the universe being nothing. Okay, now it's time to start painting the picture. Now it's time to start making the music. Now it's time to hear the voices. Now it's time to see the spirits and communicate with the spirits. It starts with the breathing. Okay? And so when you're able to just practice this a little bit every day, and you can work yourself up to doing it longer or multiple times a day. Any chance you get, you can stop and breathe. Any chance you get, you can stop and visualize something. Or try and hear something. And Let me tell you this too, don't try and force it. The more you try and force something, the harder it is to make it budge. Start with the silence. See what naturally starts to come. Then you can kind of give it a nudge. Can I create this? Give it a nudge. Or if it's a spirit trying to reach out to you, see if something pops into your imagination or a voice pops into your mind. And maybe it sounds like your own voice at first. Just give it a try. And I guarantee this alone is going to enhance and empower your rituals beyond measure. Thank you for watching. And if you'd be interested, if you've watched this far, I've written about this and I've compiled all these different methods for this exact thing, and getting into this trance state, this state of theta on a deep level, to the point where you can see spirits or interact with spirits face to face and touch them, feel them, and have very intense encounters with them as far as your imagination will allow it. Or be able to put your will into a spell, your desire, and see that spell manifest. It starts with this. It starts with this state of theta, this in-between realm that we can access, that we can step into, and that's our birthright. It's not a power that you obtain. It's something you remember. It's something you unlock. You can do this, and this is what my book, The Missing Key to Magic, actually helps you to do. It's a short read, very intentionally. I've got people with ADD and ADHD in mind, because we're the ones that are scatterbrained that need this book. So you're going to go down through it, and you're going to do the exercise. You're going to work through it. You're going to practice what it's talking about. And not just skim over it, not just read it as a cool read, but it is a manual. Click the link in the description. And if that's for you, I highly encourage you to pick that up. It will bring so much value to your life. It'll empower your rituals. It'll empower your magic, your practice. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.